Alright, welcome back. Final Fantasy XIV storyline. Just noticed it on my headshot out just to cover free company chat. The quest we're doing is A Way Forward, given to us by Alphino and Alice right next to him. They are looking at the graves of the two that we just failed to save. Here we go. We've already caused enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them, someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. Do a 100 gil teleport to Camp Broken Glass. Catch you on the flip side. If I were to say, I think it's laters on the Menges, laters on the Menges, laters on. If you know what movie I'm quoting, and possibly doing a bad job, but you still got it, then we watch similar stuff. Anyway, here's Lucia, with the twins at the table hanging their heads. Y'shtola, Arunsena, Maxima, and myself. Alice and Alphino tell me they have finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask you for your account? Cutscene. We are indeed relaying what happened, it looks like.
Thank you for your report.
Yes, I love it when I have to talk.
We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Listen, I understand it probably does cost, I don't know, is it a certain amount per word for voice actors or a certain amount per hour? Because, you know, you could say it's probably per hour because the people who are in charge of approving the recordings, like saying, you did it good, but we want it like a little bit more this way. Those people could extend the recording sessions by a lot. So it's probably per hour, right? And you could say, yeah, it would be expensive to get voice recordings for all of these characters and all of these cutscenes. And you would be right, but like Guild Wars 2 does it. Every time you enter a cutscene, you have voice acting. A lot of the times you don't enter a cutscene, you still have voice acting. And Guild Wars 2 is, as far as I know, it's a very popular MMO, but it's not as popular as the whole Final Fantasy series, you know. Final Fantasy XI had, as far as I remember, 0 voice acting, unless it was in like the opening movies or FMVs for each expansion. I think those might have had voice acting, but it's been so long that I do not remember. But yeah, just do it. It would make your game so much more enjoyable, and people like me who try to do their best to do the various accents would not have to struggle so much. Please think of me and my struggles.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the Victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
It's a really good idea.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Lacinia and her sister, please do so.
Maxima nods,
I am sorry to have put you through this.
but stays at the table. He's still here for the rest of the meeting, which makes sense.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
Lucia thinks.
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified.
This is Y'shtola, in case you couldn't tell the difference between.
They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it.
We have a flash of the scene to a throne on top of like 10 stairs and like 3 different levels, and you know, as thrones might tend to do, with the Garlean symbol behind it. And
Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's Third Legion clashed with the First, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad.
this is Arun Senna talking. We have a different scene of a one of those mechs, 2-legged, that kind of has either like rifle bursts or a kind of a fireball blast. Either chasing soldiers the operators attempting to kill, because all the soldiers have their backs turned, or following them to assist in them killing others. There are a couple corpses, or well, at least unmoving people on the ground.
Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
From this vantage point, we see 4 of those mechs that I talked about with the pilots, and those running in the same direction the mechs seem to be moving have their weapons out and seem to be like in some kind of a motion to attack whatever might come in front of them. So I believe the mechs are on their side in this one. We're back to Y'shtola.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Zenos had been possessed by a demon.
They weren't wrong.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered.
Alright, so some notes here. We go back to Camp Broken Class, I believe it's called, and have a meeting with our Scion friends, Lucia, I'm going to say et al. Yeah, I'm going to say I don't necessarily think I agree with the voice that is used for Lucia. I didn't picture it the way it is, but I am certainly not an authority on anything in that kind of realm, so I couldn't even tell you what I thought it would be, because I can't mimic what I think it would have been. We flash to another scene.
And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer.
Where it looks like Gaius in his kind of new form without all of his armor as the hunter guy that I can't remember what his name is, something Hunter, but is seen theoretically rushing at Varus and a somewhat downed but not dead yet Emperor. Wait, no. Varus is the emperor that was killed, kind of the vampire-looking white-haired dude. Whereas, gosh, who's the guy we've been fighting? Well, we're probably going to find out in a second, but I can't remember his name.
Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
I cannot remember the dude who is basically our big enemy right now. I cannot remember his name right now. I swear I've said it. Well, let's say hundreds of times, but that's not true. Tens of times. Varus is the white-haired, like, vampire-looking dude who was the emperor that was slain or assassinated. I'm looking at this dude and I cannot remember. Whatever. We flash to our main scene right now.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
It feels like it's only a 2-syllable name too, and I think it is, but I cannot remember.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers.
That's super weird.
But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams.
Oh, Xenos. There we go. I remembered.
May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
This sounds awfully familiar.
We have something to show you all.
Cutscene fades to black. And we see a chest on the table. Is it the radio?
Varus spoke to them through this radio.
Yeah, the radio.
Perhaps it was a recording, but if not, that would be inexplicable.
We are of one mind, then.
Arun Senna has whipped out a device that is possibly like an ether checker. And Y'shtola says we are of one mind then. I don't know what the device is.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
Are those the talismans that are meant to protect us from tempering?
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence.
There you go.
A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
So they gave out radios to those that they wanted to be spared? Am I?
No wonder Lucinia kept it close.
Whoever they is in my whatever.
My friends, I must speak with you.
Serena, the Orin, I believe they're called, with kind of like the fish scale, protrusions from the sides of their head, like their bat ears or fish fins, whatever. She's the one who we helped establish as the leader of the Orans in that one zone. Has come to speak with us, apparently, in urgency.
A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
And Magni is the big Oran with like the big, weird-looking but cool as heck two-handed axe.
I think we do.
A leader of one of the other clans that was fighting in that conflict. To name the next leader.
Who do we have here?
This.
Garleans?
So far we see what looks like a human, male, kind of palish. Well, how do you describe? Blue hair with some wisps of close to white, but like not a whole lot of them. Seems, mid-20s, early 30s-ish. Possibly a tiny bit younger.
Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
Garlean from the gem in his forehead.
I am Lucia Junius, a temple knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Letting his emotions.
Jullus Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
JULLUS space P as in Paul YR space N as in Nancy OR B as in boy AN as in Nancy S as in Sam. Jullus Pier Norbanus.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
My options are I'm going with you, or what would your mother say if I let you 2 go by yourselves? I'm gonna go with the kind of tongue-in-cheek. What would your mother say if I let you 2 go by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
I'll go Paladin. Or, do I have Gunbreaker on this?
A couple of children and what? A sellsword?
Do I have gun? No,
Is this an insult?
I don't have Gunbreaker on this character, so.
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
I don't know what he's pointing at, because there's nothing there, but I'm assuming it's a weapon? Oh, it's the gunblade. So dude is a gunbreaker. Okay, hold on. Let's pop my headshot back. We'll speak to Lucia. Oh my god, it keeps going? Okay, fine. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Thancred, in particular, will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Julius, we'll speak to next. Are you and the children ready? I'll explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation, says Lucia. Julius walks off to the north. I am going to follow and cancel this spam call. So many spam calls, guys. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so much, dude. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. He turns to the twins. Children in the lead. I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alice, and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Mercy. Mercy? Whoever heard that before? Ha! Because my first name is Mercy, it does have a different tone to it. No matter. Alphino and Alice will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Once you choose to depart, Julius will accompany you. Alphino and Alice will then begin moving toward the destination. Make your way to the limit. Yeah. If you leave Julius band for any reason, okay. Fuck. Come on. Pardon my French. Ready to make a dash for the station? Yeah, I guess, dude. Over that hill, right? So we follow. We kind of went northeast at first. We're kind of turning northwest and now north. Are they gonna attack this guy or go around it? I'm gonna go around the bear, but it's so close. Okay, they're gonna keep going. This must be the road he mentioned. If we follow this, it should lead to the station. Not the easiest surface to run on. It's a road that's frozen, like it's a cobblestone road that's frozen, has snow. It seems pretty normal. What? We better not draw attention. Wait, why am I going... Why is my status... Oh, that was so weird. My status showed away for a second. I was like, what? My internet's fine, I think. That's the station, I presume. We got like minotaur-looking things with like electricity in their horns, tails, and claws. I've seen them before. The Jotuns. I think I fought one. So I've not fallen behind to the point where it's a problem. I've not lost Julius at any point. And I found a circle where Julius wants to speak. Cutscene. Hold on. This is it. The first stop, that is. He surveys. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. Cutscene goes black, and we carry. Oh wait, hey, cool. I get to finish this quest. 'Cause gotta be cool. North of the station is Regio Domorum. Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close. No wandering off. Understood? And a way forward is complete with a pewter foot gear coffer item level 525, which I'll use for whatever job I end up getting. I have not unlocked anything besides, yeah, I still have just the 5. So that's the end of this quest, end of this video. I will see you next time. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm definitely gonna do at least one more. So ta-ta for now.